Erin's pretty afraid of having a baby because she never had a relationship with her mother. And they say in sort of psychology books in the human world that you need to have the right role models, and you can overcome those adversities. And I think that's why Erin's actually quite an interesting role model, because she has no precedent. She's come from damage and a lack of background and experience, and so she has to create her life and her future with Crichton, and from there, hopefully, together they'll be able to nut it out. And he's going to be without his creature comforts and his support network because he's been isolated in the middle of goodness knows where in the galaxy. So I love the idea that it's always going to be just the two of them trying to make it work, and they've got nothing else to lean on and depend on, and it makes them stronger if it's not going to kill them. I'm delighted that women find in Erin some kind of role model. I found it threatening at first, or a little alarming, because she was such damaged goods. That's how I referred to her, because she had such a long way to go before she could behave in what I would consider to be an appropriate fashion, coming from a very well-managed family. But she, yeah, she starts to grow. She actually tackles some issues that I think people are, I know, that endeared her to them, and it's crazy. It's crazy to see people of all ages in the conventions talking about Erin and what she means to them. Best thing about coming back for me to do the miniseries has been being back with everybody again, the cast and the crew. I didn't know how many people we'd be able to get on both sides of the camera, and we pretty much got everyone. So I think we all felt that there was something that really needed to be completed. There was a sense of moral obligation to the group, and especially to the fans. We were told from the very beginning on this one, David Kemper said to me after the read-through, all right, it's all changing. So with that sort of canvas, it's like, well, how do I sort of piece this scene to this scene to this scene to this scene? And sometimes the successes are that, you know, holding your breath for however long the shoot is, and then just seeing it in the edit and saying, wow, we pulled it off. I'm proud of the imagination and the creativity, the deadlines that we've had when the Creature Shop has had to deliver something on an absurd deadline, and we've had to sort of pitch in, all of us on the day when we look on set and we see what we've been given, we all have to sort of pitch in and work out how we're going to approach telling the story. And sometimes what was on the page cannot be delivered, and it was the collaborative aspect of it that I think was a huge success. The more people actually opened up to the idea of collaboration, the better our work became. I remember the first day when I arrived in the makeup room for Tess, and Ben said, can I steal her away for a sec? I just want to show her the set. And he sort of took me in to see what Ricky Ayres had brilliantly designed and created. And once we realized the scale of it, we became more and more proud of what we were able to achieve on such a fast turnaround. You just get inspired by it. You walk onto set and there's a really dramatic scene, and it blocks itself. It has a life of its own that sort of comes off the page. And watching Ben, it's fantastic watching guest actors come on from Australia to watch Ben, because we have a sort of tall poppy culture here where we sort of knock people who are successful or whatever, and Ben's just a hard worker, and to see a lot of guest actors just sit and watch him very closely and then say, wow, that's quite a learning experience. 4 years down the line, Ben and I are still giggling and singing and joking around on set, and I think that's an incredible achievement. It's one of the relationships in my life of which I'm most proud, because it's been under the most pressure. I would spend more time with Ben than I do with my family, and he is like a member of the family now, so we've been good kids.